Welcome to a Skyrim Addict podcast where I will discuss my adventures and misadventures through Skyrim. Join me. Add your stories, add your tales. Let's get into this thing. Hello, welcome back, Skyrim Addict podcast. Episode, I don't know. 96, 97, something like that. So anyway, last I left off, I think I was I was playing my Thieves Guild character, Heidliner. So since then, I decided to finally take Victor's advice and switch to Mod Organizer over using Steam Workshop. So I'm using Mod Organizer in the Nexus now. Let me tab out of this real quick. So quick, with this character, I love, oh my gosh, the profiles where you can use different profiles for different characters is fantastic. God, Victor, I should have listened to you much sooner. All right, so just a quick rundown of what I'm using with Heidliner. Let's see, high-res texture pack, unofficial patch, legendary patch, quality world map and Solstheim map, which is really nice. Ordinator, I kept Ordinator since I already had it with Heidliner. I was able to just transfer the save over and pretty much match it up pretty close with the mods. Immersive armors, which I'm not really using because I'm using with this character, I'm only using the guild armors as I play through them. So like when I go through Dark Brotherhood, I'll only be using the Dark Brotherhood armors. Right now I'm just using the Thieves Guild stuff, so I'm going to stick clean with that. But it's nice because I find stuff that I can sell, which is really cool. Pure Waters, of course. Sounds of Skyrim, Wilds, Dungeon, and Civilization. Enhanced Lights and FX. Skyrim Bigger Trees, which is awesome. Makes the place look much better. And Localized Thieves Guild Jobs, which I haven't had a chance to use yet because I just added it on, where you can select the town or the city where you want to do your Vex or Delvin quests so that you're not hopping all over the map all the time. So I'm excited to use that one. So I can whoops. There we go. All right, now let me alt tab back into Skyrim. There we go. All right, so anyway, I've been where did I leave off? Let me think. I was following Gulamai, and I was in that cave. So anyway, I had died and went back. I'm trying to think. I followed Gulamai. I got into the second part of the cave, and I had the two guys. I beat them, then I died and had to go all the way back again. So what I did this time was actually, and it worked out well, I hid behind some stuff, shot an arrow down the cave. They kind of scattered around, and then I was able to sneak past them, which was much easier. I snuck pretty much all the way to the end, and then was able to hide out up high in that little area at the very end of the water of the cave with the water and stuff where Gulamai is, and you have to meet up with them. And there's two people at the end with them, so kind of perched myself up high and took care of them with some archery. Took a lot of shots because I'm playing on Master, I believe, and it really takes a while. So I got rid of those two, talked to him, and I had to return to Mercer Frey. So Mercer's like, all right, well, we find out it's about Carlia, and then we head off to Snowvale Sanctum. Now, mind you, I am not fast traveling at all with this character, so I am walking everywhere. So I had to walk from Riften to Solitude, back to Riften, then to Snowvale Sanctum north of Windhelm, then to Winterhold after I get done at Snowvale Sanctum. So I did the whole crawl through Snowvale Sanctum with the Draugr, which were kicking my butt. I was able to sneak through a lot of it and left Mercer. Like I would sneak through a section, close a gate behind us, and we wouldn't have to worry about those Draugr, and then kind of keep going instead of just trying to kill everything. It was getting too tedious. And then of course I get to the end. I get shot with the poison dart by Carlia, and I find out Mercer's really the actual bad guy. he stabs me, which is great. And then you wake up outside, and Carlia can't tell you what's going on. And then you have to head off to whatchamacallit, Winterhold, and talk to Enthier. He's in the bar there. And then he's like, well, now you have to go to Markarth and talk to Kelsema. So now I am in Winterhold. I have just left Winterhold, and I am walking along the north coast on my way to Markarth. So it's going to be a long way to go. I have a long way to go. Where am I at right now? I have just left Winterhold. So, granted, the map I'm using is great because it has all the roads on it. But to get from Winterhold to Markarth is a haul. So I am going to go all the way across the north to Solitude, straight across the north of the map, and then start working my way down. Or actually, maybe from I'll probably head over to Dawnstar, and then start working my way down once I get past kind of the mountain ranges there, and work down the west side of the mountain range. So that should be a good time. That shouldn't take long at all. But that's kind of where I am right now, where I've been working with this character. I started another character that I'm going to be doing another project with. It's kind of something we bandied about this week in our little group message for the show. So I thought about the idea of doing, after doing the audio Let's Play last week, doing a separate feed just for the Skyrim audio Let's Play, and starting with each, starting with the main quest, and go through the main quest with all the sounds and sights of Skyrim. Well, not sights because it's audio, but with all the sounds of Skyrim, and a little bit of commentary about what's going on over it. No discussions or anything, just basically audio gameplay. So if anybody's interested in that, that's going to be coming up soon. But that'll be on a whole separate. I'm going to start a whole separate thing for that. And especially with the re-release coming out, I figure it'd be almost like a guide almost, as a way to introduce people to the game who've never played it before. So if you're interested in that, just keep an ear out for that. I'll, obviously be mentioning it. Also, prior to, once we get through July here, we'll probably start, I would like to start doing some shows specific on like enchanting and smithing and tips for people who've never played before, and mods that would help, that are helpful for each of those types of things. So I think that's going to be the next few months what we're going to start concentrating on, with the remaster coming out and in October 28th. So that seems to be the plan going forward, and possibly most likely a round table once the game hits. I'll probably play it on. I'm hoping to upgrade my PC by then, but I'll probably play it on Xbox One just to kind of have that console view, see how the console mods and stuff are going. So that's probably what I'll play it on. But I'll also be playing on. I'll just play my roundtable character on there. I'll still have my other ones going, but so the audio Let's Play thing I'm going to do as pretty vanilla. I do have a few mods on it just for myself, just for visuals and things like that. But the questing and all that, and all the gear, everything is all going to be vanilla, and it'll just be the quests and the characters speaking and the background noises and all that kind of stuff. I think I left the music in as well, but so that's something to be doing. So if you're interested in that, or not, that's okay. But we'll be putting that up. So anyway, let me close out my Skyrim. Oh, well, let me go over where I'm at. So Heinor is kind of sitting at level 23 now. I'm running Ordinator with him. So what have I really put into? Let's see. Smithing, I put just into the first level of Smithing Mastery, which allows me to create novice and novice steel and bone mold items. I haven't really put into a lot of things. One-handed, I've put in 2 levels of one-handed mastery. I've really got to work on my one-handed. I'm only level 25, and I kind of want to focus on that more. Archery, I'm level 43. I've put about 5 perks in there. One's called Long Shot, which 10% more damage for each 25 feet beyond 50, up to 40%. Clean kill, 20% more damage to a target with full health. And Steady Hand, which obviously is a zooming in thing. So you can see I put more into archery than anything. Actually, I've put more into sneak than anything, but I think I've kind of maxed where I want to go with sneak. Except for I have 2 levels of backstab to go, which I'm going to put into those. Also, I've been working on the alchemy a little bit because I'm going to transition into a poisoner once I finish with the Thieves Guild. So put a little bit in the pickpocket. I've been working on that a little bit. And I've been working on my alchemy. I just got the perk where I get called Experimenter, where it reveals all the effects when you eat it. So, and I'm mostly going up the poisoning branch of the alchemy perk tree for Ordinator. Other than that, what have I really put into? Just the one thing in the smithing. Yeah, that's it. Wow, where did all my perks go? Jeez. I guess that adds up to all of them. A little bit in the light armor I put. Just one in there just to, survive, basically. I must have put 4 or 5 perks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I put 4 perks into alchemy to get where I'm at there. So that's kind of where I'm sitting with that. Let me quit Skyrim here because I don't need that. Quit to desktop. All right. Yeah, so for my other character that I'm running, let's see. Let's play character. Only thing I'm putting on is the HD textures, pure waters, sounds of Skyrim, enhanced lights, and FX, and bigger trees. So that's the only real mods I'm running for that, because I don't want to affect the game at all. I just want to keep it pretty clean while I'm playing it. So I do have some feedback here. Let me open that up. So I have some feedback from Blake, as you may have heard many times on the show and Roundtable and other shows. Let's see. So here we go. I have some. It's audio feedback. Let me download that. Why can't I play it in? I wonder if I can open it in Drive. All right, let's see if I can open it in Drive. For some reason, Jesus, it's a little funky because I'm used to recording on my Mac and I can just hit play. If I hit play on here, it like opens up some whole separate programming crap. It's so weird. Oh, God, that's such a pain in the butt. All right, let me go to Drive real quick. I should have an item here. Is it in there? Oh, here it is. Will it play? There we go.
Hey, Skyrimmers. It's Uncle Blake. It's been a while since I've sent anything in, so I just want to send in a little feedback and let you know that I'm still occasionally dabbling in Skyrim. I'm playing a new playthrough with, Khajiit, of course, imagine that. But I'm working on Tel Nalta. Now, it's a player home. Colin had it through one playthrough, and he had a couple videos on YouTube at one time, and I think I watched part of it and was talking to him, and I was like, this looks pretty cool. I need to check this player home out. So there were 2 different versions when you download Tel Nalta from the Nexus, the Skyrim Nexus. And one of them has a chest on the property with everything in it that you need to fully build Tel Nalta. And I thought, well, I don't need that. I'll just go out and collect everything on my own. Well, that's turned into quite the hassle, and now I'm really wishing I would have just got the one that had the fully loaded chest in it, because I mean it's a bunch of mushrooms and stuff you got to collect, and tap roots and filled, I think, black soul gems and stuff like that. So I got the bridge built for Tel Nalta, and now I'm out collecting everything. And I was streaming some of it on on Twitch, but I kind of stopped halfway through and was like, all right, screw this. I'm just going to open the console commands and just get everything I need. And then I realized, well, that's kind of boring to watch if somebody's sitting there looking for the console command codes for all these mushrooms and type all that in. So when I finish actually building Telnalta, I think I'll go back to streaming Skyrim again on Twitch. But I'm using that mod with a couple others. I'm also using all the unofficial patches, of course. I thought it was cool when Michael did when he got all the Baron Zaya stones. So that's something I've never done. So now I'm looking for all the Baron Zaya stones, and I've got the quest marker mod, which doesn't show up anything until you get the first stone, at least. So fair warning, if you loaded it and it doesn't show up, that's what's up. So I've got it. I've got Deadly Dragons, because I've heard Colin talk about it, and I've just left Helgen. Well, I made it to Riverwood, and I'm about to go to Bleak Falls to get the claw, and then I'm off to get the what is it in Bleak Falls? There's something in there you got to take to the mage. Anyway, I'm going to get it and go
Dragonstone.
Whiterun, just knock it all out in one trip. But I got Deadly Dragons. Glowing Ore Veins, I've got it. It makes all the ore veins glow. I'm bad about just walking past them and not noticing them, so I've got them all where they glow when they're visible now. Harvest Overhaul, which was a recommendation from Colin and Victor, because it doesn't make any sense to harvest a butterfly and get one wing. I've never figured that out. And it's, little things like every skeever at least has a tail now, like it should. Let's see. The Lost Grimoire of Skyrim. I started playing mostly a mage because I stayed with the sneaky archer for so long. And the Lost Grimoire had so many new spells, and it's really, really fun to play with. So if you decide to go mage in your own PC, then I recommend checking out the Lost Grimoire of Skyrim. I've also got Skooma Cook, because Khajiit and Skooma and Skyrim Immersive Creatures, I haven't really leveled high enough to see any of these immersive creatures just yet. I mean, right now there's some like plague wolves and stuff like that, but that's it so far. Sky UI, of course. Alternate Start, which I think is a must if you're going to play a new playthrough on the PC. The way you can just skip the opening scenes altogether. I've also got Unread Books Glow. That way, if it's a skill book, or I think it's any book I haven't read, maybe there's an option just to make it skill books. But it makes any books you haven't read glow. That way you can just kind of fill things out if you're a completionist, I guess. I just want to make sure I don't miss any of the skill books. I've also got one called Werewolves Occurring Naturally, and that's at night sometimes werewolves will actually appear or spawn in Skyrim, so that's pretty cool and nice. And because, I know they're there, but you hardly ever see them unless you're doing, like, companions quests, so I wanted to run into werewolves, like, more often. So I added that one in. And finally, my old favorite, Inigo. I've got him with me. I think the first thing I did was run straight to Riften and bail him out of jail, so I've got him. I'll have him with me through the whole playthrough. So once I get Telnalta finished, I'll be doing some more streaming on Twitch. But at the same time, I just downloaded Overwatch. So, yeah. So, the good thing with Skyrim, though, is I can hop in it, and at any point I want to, I can just save and leave. Whereas, like, games like Overwatch or Heroes of the Storm, other stuff I play, you're in it till the match is over, at least. And at least with Heroes of the Storm, some of those matches run on 20, 30 minutes, and my wife's yelling at me to cut it off. It's time to go out and eat, stuff like that. And, at least Skyrim, when you want to be done, you can just save and quit. So, but anyway, yeah, I'm still playing here and there, still trucking along. I've maybe got 3 or 4 hours in this new character, so not a whole lot of time. But like I said, once I get some more mushrooms to get Telnalta finished, then I'll start streaming again. So I guess that's it for now, and happy Skyriming, everybody.
Thank you, sir. I forgot about some of those mods. Yeah, I want to add the Harvest Overhaul 2 as well. Not 2, but you know what I mean. And yet, Telnalta, I know Colin used that a lot. I still need to install SKSE, so some of these I can't do yet because I still gotta do that. I haven't done that yet. I've been busy playing. I got started, got switched over, got the mods I needed to continue with High North character, and kind of just started playing. So that's definitely something I gotta work on next. And what was the other thing I was thinking of? I think that's it. Yeah, there was just a couple of mods in there that he mentioned that I definitely... Oh, the Baron's Eye, that's it. Yeah, if you're going to do the Baron's Eye quest, definitely do the mod that gives you the quest markers. I believe the quest markers start after you talk to Vex, maybe. You get the first one, and it tells you to bring the stone to the person to look at it, which ends up being Vex in the Thieves Guild. I think that's when the quest markers start for that. I'm pretty sure. Because I remember when I installed it, and I'm like, wait, there's no quest markers. What's going on? But I think it's, I believe it's after you actually kick off the quest from there, not after you kick off that part of the quest where you're supposed to go search for them. So that is the only way to do the Baron's Eye. So honestly, if you're going to be playing on console in the future, I'm sure that one will be on there. It's on Steam Workshop and all, so I'm sure that will be on there. So definitely grab that one. It'll be well worth it. It'll save you so much time. And we'll probably be talking about things like that coming up when we talk about tips and such for how to play the game and all that. So let me open up some feedback here. Okay, so I have some feedback from Dave. So he's still playing a bit with some of the mods in Skyrim. And he started a new character in Oblivion. Dark Elf Witch Hunter. Which, yeah, it does sound very familiar. Similar to McBeta, but joined Dark Brotherhood, Thieves Guild, Mage Guild, and Fighters Guild. He's done a couple of quests in the Dark Brotherhood and Mages Guild so far. And he did alt start in Imperial City Harbor. He's actually put Oblivion on his main gaming machine, and it's looking pretty good with all the mods he has installed. So he hasn't included any DLCs to date, but may slot them in slowly over time. He's enjoying it so far, and it's a much slower paced game. Yeah, I do like Oblivion quite a bit. I want to get back into it, and I would like to mod it a little bit and play it. He also installed a modded Morrowind, and it's looking good too. Not done too much in that. Thinking this would be McBeta's grandfather as a young man before he becomes a listener. We'll play about with this too. So, alrighty. So I do have some. Let's see. Let me open this up. All right. This is excerpt from the letters of Ger Sendu. Dearest Mikasia, still no letter from you. It's been over a month and I'm getting worried. I'm writing about a slight mistake in my fast travel that occurred a few days ago. It could be called a farce travel adventure. You really need to give me a refresher on fast travel. A little farce travel. I was meant to be scouting, well, okay, maybe spying, on some Alkir warriors who were in the area to find a Redguard woman. She was said to be in Whiterun Hold area, possibly near Rorikstead. I was strongly advised to keep them under surveillance. Gods alone only know why. I found Rorikstead on my map and went through the fast travel rigmarole taught to me by Miskasia. Instead of Rorikstead, I found myself in a mining cave called Soljon's Sinkhole in the Reach, on the other side of the hill. Talk about being bloody confused. Two gods damned Draugr attacked me. Two gods damned Draugr attacked me before I could even guess where in Oblivion I had landed. I just got out of that cave as soon as I could, let me tell you. Shade, my pet wolf cub, was not far behind because she's not daft. A miner, Perth, told me the mine had Draugr infestation and they were waiting on the guards to come clear them out. I set up my camp close to the miner's house, well upwind of the smelter, which belched out some pretty foul smoke and fumes, and assessed the situation. I agreed to clear the cave of these Draugr. There were at least 3 undead warriors, the miner told me. At least that is all they saw when they broke through the cavern just behind the sinkhole. I felt confident enough to leave Shade guarding the camp. The little bugger is feisty, scared of nothing, snarls and nips at the ankles of anything that comes close. Perth agreed to replenish my campfire and keep an eye out for the pup. It was cold in that cave mine, but I had my full fur armor set, and I carried my dwarven crossbow of flames, and a mix of bolts, including the exploding bolts of fire. My own bone bow of fire and several of my own crafted perfect bone arrows completed my ranged weapons. My silver scimitar of shock and that ebony dagger of flames you gave me were the only hand weapons I had. So back I went, sneaking into the cave, prepared for battle this time. My bow was already knocked and drawn. I spotted a Draugr Lich standing near the rear wall of a room-like cavern. These bastards can be hard to take down, especially if they can shout. Oh, bugger. This one could. I had hit him with 2 of my perfect bone arrows, and the flames licked around his dry skin. The foosh shout came my way, but I had stepped to the side, away from the entrance, then stepped back in again. Another 2 arrows fired. This one really is tough, and now he had pulled out a great sword. I maintained my position at the entrance, and the bloody thing kept hitting the cave wall, because there was no room for it to swing a great sword. A couple of hits with my scimitar and knife, and it was down on its knee. A final blow of my scimitar finishes it. Then an arrow struck at my armor. Damn it, a Draugr archer had just appeared in the back of the room. I returned fire, and down it went after 3 arrows in flames. So, just a plain old Draugr. I then slowly crept forward into the room, looking carefully. The miners had mentioned 3 Draugr. As I moved under the raised platform and into the next room, I heard the creak of the wood above me. I looked up and could make out a Draugr standing just visible through the spaces in the planking. It was ready with a drawn bow aimed at where I would come out. Not a stupid Draugr, then. I eased myself forward, but only just far enough to get a sight of a full leg. I fired my bow up and into the leg, and it erupted in a flame, spreading upwards onto the rest of the body. I leapt forward, turned, and shot 3 arrows in quick succession, and the Draugr fell off the platform at my feet, burning its way back to oblivion. I continued round the mine, but saw no more Draugr. The last room had the sinkhole. I assumed the place is named after this hole in the ground. I moved up to the edge and noticed that the bottom was visible. I didn't need my torch to see it. The flickering lights below did that. Strange, I thought, as I wondered what caused that flickering. I eased forward onto a rock protruding from the edge to get a better look. The damn thing just slipped away under my foot, and I only just managed to stop from falling in the hole all the way, landing on a timber balk. Gods, that was bloody close. That was when I heard a stone coffin break open and the Draugr shuffled into place below me. Oh, bugger, I thought, and the timber balk moved under my weight and slipped down. Dropping in, the timber balk and I dropped down as I hit the Draugr, and I managed to roll over the wall and stand up. The Draugr was trapped under the timber, so I finished it off with my bow. I looked around just as another attacked. Scimitar and dagger against this opponent and another one down, shocked and burning. An arrow struck the wall behind me. A Draugr stood beside a pillar like extrusion. I crouched, stepped sideways and forward, keeping the pillar between us. Round the back of the pillar and a couple of swings with the scimitar and hits with the knife, and we were done fighting. I crept slowly forward into a room with a long dark passageway off to my right. I moved to the start of the passageway, bow at the ready, and waited. A Draugr walked past at the end of the passage and then returned. My arrows struck it on the return. It lumbered into the passageway in flames, but it was down before it got halfway. Another appeared, and it shouted that foosh thing at me. I had sidestepped, and the force of the thing went past harmlessly, sending pots crashing into the walls behind me. I stepped back, and it took 4 hours before the damn thing was down on its knee. 2 more to finish it. God, some of these were hard to kill, and the arrows from his bow burned from the inside out. Again, I waited, but nothing came. No barking cough to warn me. I crept forward cautiously, fully aware that getting foosh shouted in this tunnel would be very, very bad. I came to a large chamber with a gate ahead and a big lever switch sitting in the middle of the room, highlighted under a light ball. Now, call me old-fashioned, but that lever and light setup rang warning bells in my head. I lit up my torch and moved slowly around the room. Well, surprise, surprise, I came across 2 hidden lever switches, one to each side of the chamber. These I pulled, and on the second one being pulled, the gate ground open with a screech. Closed for a while, then, I thought. A curved stair led me up to a platform in a short passageway. I noticed several holes in the wall and looked down to see a pressure plate just a pace away. A quick step around the plate and then onto the door. Bow drawn, I eased the door open. A Draugr with a great sword barked and lurched towards me. I got a couple of missed shots fired before retreating to behind the trap. As the Draugr came up close, it lifted its sword back and up to swing just as I pressed my foot on the trap. 6 spear-like weapons shot out and held the Draugr fast. I fired 2 arrows and it just fell back dead when the spears retracted. An arrow flew past as another 2 Draugr approached. I ran as only I could, fast and silently. I reached the far end of the long corridor and crouched hidden in the shadows with my bow ready. A Draugr archer appeared at the other end and paused, looking around. My first arrow hit true. It burst into flames. My second put it to its knees, and my third put it down. Another Draugr, a warrior with an axe and a shield, now appeared behind the corpse. Again, I got another 3 arrows off quickly, but this one stayed vertical, moving forward with flames flickering over it. That foosh shout had me step sideways, and I felt the power push at my trailing leg. I stepped back and got another 2 arrows away. Gods, it was still coming, surrounded in flames. How much punishment would this bloody thing take? I swapped to my scimitar and dagger combo and attacked. As I struck the first blow, it went down to its knee, and the next 2 blows finished the job. Well, that went well. I pondered my next move. Do I try to climb back up the sinkhole or go back through the tunnels and up the stairs into that big room with all that water? I moved up the stairs because I could see no way up the sinkhole. Back up the stairs and into the chamber with the water. There were a few items of value and another closed door to go through. Oh gods, the door opened into a winding narrow passageway. Each corner binding the next section of passage. Very stressful. Carefully creeping along, I met nothing, and then a final turn, and I faced a large cavern. I eased forward and just stuck my head around the edge of an opening, and a firebolt stuck the wall beside me. Bugger, that was too bloody close. Now I heard that bark sound the Draugr make. This one looked like a powerful bastard. I eased back to the corner, firing a couple arrows at it. A fusro sound, and I stepped into the corner as the dust and debris blew up in a cloud. God, this Draugr was really powerful. He strutted back and forward in the cavern, but he never came past the entrance of the passages. So he was stuck in that chamber. I got the old dwarven crossbow out and fitted it with an explosive firebolt, hunkered down and waited until he strutted back in view. My bolt knocked him sideways off his feet, but he got up and it was no longer strutting, the bony bastard. Now that bloody thing was healing itself when my second bolt blew that away. Swapped to my bow while it was down and kept the flames going. It tried another heal, but it got another bolt, and that put it to its knees. A fourth bolt finished the job. Thank you, Dawnguard, for these wonderful gifts. Glad I joined now. I used my hand past the edge of the entrance, but no firebolt, so now I was free and clear. The place didn't actually have a lot of anything. Some bone meal, archaic Nord coins, some sort of dwarven sword of ice. Perth was happy with the outcome and paid me some coin, more than I needed, but coin is coin. I ate some bread and cheese. Shade, the little beggar, had gotten hold of my venison steak and scoffed the bloody lot. I had a drink of warm wine and water and slept through the night. Next morning, I said my farewells to the miners and headed over the hill to Rorikstead, walking. Shade ran at my side, occasionally rushing off to chase the butterflies. Bloody wolves are more trouble than they are worth, I thought, my stomach rumbling. So that is the first journal from Jer Sendu. And he was writing to Miskasia. Let me close that off there. So I do have another one from Dave, but I will be saving that for next time. Let's see. Did I read the correct one? Yes. I will be saving that for next time. It is from... maybe, let me open it up here. No. Yeah, I'll save that one for next time because nice long one. So I'll save that for next week. And okay. All right, sorry about that. I'm reading here when I shouldn't be. Sorry. Reading ahead. Oh gosh. So I'll be saving that for next week. So next week, next 2 weeks are going to be kind of funky. I'm going to be going away on vacation again. So I'll definitely be recording next week. The week after that, I'm not sure. I'll be at San Diego Comic-Con. So if you are at going to San Diego Comic-Con, keep an eye out. I'll be around. You have no idea what I look like, but, I'll be around. Or email the show, and yeah, if you're going to be there. Otherwise, once I get back, we'll be figuring out. We're probably going to do a little just live stream for the 100th episode. And so if you want to join in with that, I'll have those details in the episode leading up to that. And that'll probably be sometime in the beginning of August. No exact date yet. I know we were bandying about in our show messages. So I'll let you know when that is. And otherwise, thanks for listening. If you have anything you'd like to contribute, whether it's a story about what you're playing, mods you're using, mod you want to recommend, questions, especially if you're a new player, any questions you'd like to hear if you haven't started playing or you just started playing and you're interested in getting back into it, send them this way. We will definitely address them. And like I said, we're going to have those guides coming up. So if you have any tips and you'd like to, like say you have alchemy tips or enchanting tips or whatever, and you want to throw them this way, and we will definitely insert those into the shows as well. So thank you for listening, everybody. And, I got to actually pull up... it's so funky when I record on the PC instead of instead of my Mac. Everything's just right on my desktop on my Mac. That's the big difference. So thank you, everybody, for listening, and I'll talk to you all next time. Thanks for listening to this episode of Skyrim Addict. You can find all of our contact information, YouTube channel information, as well as other shows over at asapodcasting.com, including our newest show, The Fallout Feed. Special thanks to Claire Lafar for the show's artwork. You can find her stuff at etsy.com/MayaFirePrints, MayaFirePrints. And a thank you to Dan Bull for the use of his music in the roundtable open and close. You can find him on YouTube or iTunes. Just search Dan Bull. Once again, thanks for listening, and later, everyone. I just realized I haven't listened to the outro in a while. I need to come up with a new outro because it's pretty outdated. So keep an ear out for that. Later, everyone.